Tributes for Queen Elizabeth II are pouring in from around the world, including here at home. The UK's longest reigning monarch died yesterday afternoon at the age of 96. Her son, King Charles III, is making his way from Balmoral Castle in Scotland, where the monarch died, to London. He's due to make his first address as the King of England at 7 o'clock tonight. My colleague, fellow eNCA and reporter here at eNCA, Heidi Giokos, is at the British High Commissioner's residence in Pretoria. She's joining us now live from there. Good afternoon again, Heidi. Welcome to today, this hour. I understand you managed to speak to the British High Commissioner to South Africa, Anthony Phillipson. What did he share with you, particularly about memories of the late Queen?
Yes, so we were very fortunate enough to get a chance to speak to the British High Commissioner just a short while ago, getting a reaction and reflection on the passing of Queen Elizabeth II. Basically, just how her legacy needs to live on and her devotion to her duty as Queen, having ruled for 70 years. That was obviously not easy. But the British High Commissioner speaking about some of the fondest memories that he has of Queen Elizabeth. One particular instant he spoke about was how he was at the airport with his wife. It was very early in the morning, and Queen Elizabeth, together with Prince Philip, were doing a walkabout, the duty-free shops. Now, that is not something that would have often happened with Queen Elizabeth walking around, but it seems as though that was the case, and it seems as though the British High Commissioner at the time was her bodyguard and her security, just taking her around the shops. And what was interesting, though, I asked a question and said, did she actually buy anything? And it seems as though she did, in fact, buy something. But that particular answer from the British High Commissioner speaks about the personal touch to Queen Elizabeth II and how she was human at the end of the day, despite her being the Queen and having ruled for 70 years. What was interesting is that he had taken her around with his wife, and I want us to maybe listen to what the British High Commissioner had to say about that engagement and how that was one of the fondest memories he has of Queen Elizabeth. Let's listen in.
If I have to say, my favourite moment with Her Majesty, and I'm sure she wouldn't mind me saying this, is when she was making a stop in Singapore on the way down to Perth for a Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. And my wife and I had an extraordinary moment where we spent an hour at 6 o'clock in the morning showing her around the duty-free shops in Changi Airport. And we took her around, and I escorted Her Majesty, and my wife escorted Prince Philip, and it was just an extraordinary personal moment with this wonderful, wonderful woman, known around the world. And by the time we got to the end of walking around the shops, everyone had spotted she was there, and there was a big crowd waving and shouting and saying hello. That is a real highlight for me in my career as a public servant.
Well, we do know that the UK is in mourning, Heidi. I wonder if you got an idea from the British High Commissioner there about how they're going to be mourning here in South Africa.
Well, firstly, a book of condolences has been opened up here at the residence of the British High Commissioner here in Pretoria. There's also one that has been opened up at the residence in Cape Town. So the public will be able to come through and write their message. The book is, of course, here at the residence. This will be Monday to Friday, so weekends you will not be able to come through to write your message. Of course, they will wait for instruction or any kind of further message from the UK with regards to further plans when it comes to mourning Queen Elizabeth II. But of course, flags are being flown at half-mast. We've actually seen this at a number of residents just driving in, but here at the residence at the British High Commissioner, you do see the flag flown at half-mast, as well as at the actual commission in Pretoria. So that is what's being done for now. People also coming through to lay flowers down here at the residence. We're also seeing a number of diplomats coming through. We, of course, are trying to engage with them, but many of them are just trying to come through to write their message in the book of condolences and leave. We've seen the ambassador of America to South Africa come through, and a number of other diplomats coming through. So people are coming through. We've also seen people from the public coming through to write their message and just lay some flowers down. So it will obviously intensify in the next couple of days as people are made aware rather of this book of condolences. So that's the plan for now, and of course they'll wait for further plans and instructions from the UK, Bradan.
Okay.
So we've already started to see formal messages of condolence, and President Ramaphosa released some words last night of commemoration and remembering his involvement and his praise for Her Majesty's service, which we are deeply, deeply grateful for. These are very ceremonial occasions. There will now be a formal period of national mourning that tends to last around 10 days. We are waiting for details to be released by the palace the details of the state funeral, probably towards maybe Monday next week, but we're waiting for those details. We have opened condolence books, as you've seen here, and down at the residence in Cape Town in Bishop's Court, for members of the public who want to come and express their condolences, or they can do so online, and we'll put all of those details on our social media. But I think we're going to see over the next few days, here as well as around the world and in the UK, people expressing their sense of what Her Majesty meant to them, whether they met her, whether they hadn't met her but had obviously seen her, and I think it's going to be an extraordinary moment.
And finally, Heidi, I guess the fellow diplomats, the diplomatic world, so to speak, in Pretoria will continue to flock through to the British High Commissioner's residence to pay tribute to the late Queen.
Yes, certainly. I think we will be seeing a lot of more diplomats coming through, just paying their tributes and expressing their condolences to the British High Commissioner. We do know that there are strong ties and relations when it comes to the UK and South Africa, so people will of course be coming through. Having spoken to the British High Commissioner earlier on, he did say that the world is mourning because she was known as the Queen, and having had strong relations and ties with many, I think people want to express their condolences. So we will be seeing it. We've already seen a number of people coming through, but as I mentioned earlier, I think more people are going to be coming through in the next couple of days as the books of condolences have been opened up to the public here in Pretoria as well as in Cape Town.
Thank you very much, Heidi Giokos there in Pretoria.